Okay, did you ever watch Inside the Actor's Studio?
I did.
Did you love that show?
Yes. I did. Oh my gosh, there's so many layers of getting to know people and getting that sort of, who are you and why do you do what you do? What actually sort of gets you going? Love it.
Yes. Okay, so I took inspiration from Inside the Actor's Studio's questionnaire at the end, and I made it pet related. Are you open to answering my questions?
I am open, yes.
Awesome. Okay, first one, and you can be diplomatic if you want to, or you could be honest. What is your favorite breed?
What is my favorite breed?
Of any species. Oh
my gosh. Quite honestly, I tend to gravitate more towards dogs, so I'm going to hone in there, and I'm going to be a little bit diplomatic and I'm going to say my favorite breed is the one that I'm living with at that point in time, because I love discovering the nuances, like with my bull terrier that I'm living with now. I don't know that I don't own another one, but I love getting to know him and his quirks, just as I did my cattle dog before him and my Great Dane before her as well. It's an amazing way to really hone in on who they are.
Yeah, so bull terriers have a mixed reputation. Did they earn it?
Oh my God. It is amazing. And I do have to say he challenges me in certain ways, which are good for me. I have some life lessons to learn here. They're incredibly social, incredibly tactile, and also not particularly motivated by what's important to you. They kind of just do their thing, and which is a great way to live, right? Just sort of throw themselves in with 100% gusto into whatever's directly in front of them, for better or for worse. So, it's a life lesson.
That's awesome. We get the dogs, the pets that we need, right? We always get the ones we need. What is your least favorite breed?
Ooh,
of any species. I
know that this is hard. Least favorite. I will have to say, I'm going to throw somebody under the bus by saying this. There is something about the common pattern of highly vocal, demanding, high energy needs of the Australian Shepherd that will never enter my house. I can deal with a lot of things, and kudos, several of my team members at the Animal Behavior Clinic are absolute Aussie fanatics. So kudos to them, but dang, that's a dog I can't do.
Yes, I agree. Before I started this show, I actually had a pet care business in Northern Virginia for 12 years. It actually failed thanks to COVID, and I started this. But the Australian Shepherds that we cared for were perfectly looked after. They had dedicated pet parents. They were a nightmare sometimes. So I agree. Like, walking them, where you think like an anxious or high energy dog can really use a walk, but then on the walk they would get so neurotic that it wasn't really like giving them the escape or the release that you hoped it would. So I totally hear you. They're a breed that you should not take on without considerations.
Yes, there are unique qualifications of many breeds, but certainly those qualities are there.
Yes, absolutely. So does Cornelius sleep in your bed?
Yes, 100%.
You're for dogs sleeping in the bed. You don't believe in that whole hierarchy thing?
No, the only times where I'm advocating for dogs sleeping elsewhere is if there's any safety concerns, truthfully. The vast majority of dogs love the companionship. It's not problematic. It doesn't undermine our authority or any of that sort of stuff that's a holdover from truly some of the outdated dominance hierarchies, which is not to say that those aren't sometimes relevant, but they're not mostly relevant for most of the issues that we deal with. And so now, unless there's a safety concern, if you've got a dog that's going to growl or snap or, aggress toward the family member when they're trying to get in bed in the night, then probably the bed isn't the right place for that particular dog. But for the vast majority, go for it.
Definitely, if you have small children, babies, your pets should not be in your bed if you are bed sharing with them. I'm a big advocate for bed sharing, but bed sharing safely. All right. Yes. Who or what wakes you up in the morning?
Oh my gosh, who or what wakes you? It's often Cornelius. If I sort of breathe a little bit more deeply, I hear his stretch and he's like, what are we doing now? How about now? How about now? So it's often him, but truthfully, the rest of the time, it's the opportunity to do things like this. I wake up, I'm actually a morning person, like a big time morning person. So I am 100% when my feet hit the ground. Before coffee, I'm ready to go. I could pop on and do a call like this in a moment's notice. So I get out of bed in the morning with the opportunity to do things like this. Truthfully, my brain is already going.
That's amazing. I envy you. What's your most used training command or cue with Cornelius specifically?
What is the most used one? For him, it is spot, which is sort of an abbreviated go to your spot. It's a nice way to reset him when he's getting a little bit amped or needs a little bit of direction. That's a shorthand cue for him to find a rug, find a blanket, cop a squat, settle in, get those hips into a lateral position, take a deep breath, and wait for additional instructions. So
oh my gosh,
spot is his shorthand. Yeah, it's a great skill that we worked on knowing that he was a bull terrier. We worked on immensely when he was a youngster.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so what is your least used training command or cue? One that you refuse to use that you don't like, or one that you wish you used more?
So I don't ever use the heel cue. We've trained it. I don't use it. To me, that's sort of an arbitrary, I'm going to make you be right by me. If we were doing performance sports, there'd probably be more of a reason to have that there from a precision standpoint. And that might be fun for some dogs for sure. For us, it undermines his ability to be who he is. Ooh. So I really like to be able to say, hey, let's go for a walk. No, you're not going to pull me down the street. I do require a loose leash. We're going to do this together. But knock yourself out. If your brain is going there, cool, go sniff there. We'll take a break. It's fine. So heel is way down on my list.
I love that. Perfect. All right. What pet-related noise do you love?
Oh, I would say the one that Cornelius makes when he's waking up in the morning and he gives a full body stretch and he goes in a way that is like, it's so unique to any dog I've ever had. It's a very bull terrier thing. It makes me smile because it's always associated with that little helicopter tail as well versus a nice soft tail wag. So for me, when I get that in the morning, I don't care what else is going on. I'm like, okay, I'm in for this. Let's do this. It's amazing.
I don't know if we captured that noise. Do you mind doing that again?
I don't even know that I can. He does it way better. Just rewind your video. Watch it again.
I'm just teasing. All right. What pet-related noise do you hate?
High-pitched barking. High-pitched barking that hits that sort of pain point in your ear. That's really hard for me. It hits that little angsty moment for me, especially when it's sort of unexpected or jarring. I can acknowledge the needs of the animal and they're expressing something that's important to them. And it's really hard for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I hear that. When I get home from picking up the kids every single day, I'm gone for 15 minutes. And they're so excited to see the kids because this doesn't happen when I leave by myself for 15 minutes. It's when they hear the kids. I have 3 dogs. One of them does not participate. He lost his bark. He's really old. But the other 2, the barking is so insane that it actually, I think the whole neighborhood hears it. The kids start screaming because it scares my littlest. I mean, it's just a nightmare. So I'm there every day and I agree with you. It's jarring is an understatement.
Yes.
Okay. So you have 3 certifications or 3 fields of study in the pet industry. Apart from those 3, have you ever considered taking on anything else within the pet industry?
Yes, I have. Without the bandwidth to really devote time for it, I would love to know more about some of the bodywork type disciplines, especially for dogs, but also for cats. I think there's a hugely under-recognized interconnectedness between how animals feel in their bodies and how we can influence that through tactile modalities, whether that be massage or some of the, again, just different body work type things. And so I'm always a little bit curious of whether there are additional opportunities there that I don't know enough about. And I know that there are. I just haven't dove into that because I'm a yoga practitioner as well. And so just the feeling of how your body feels when you find movement that works. I love being able to recreate that for my patients as well.
Yes, I'm a certified yoga instructor, so I completely hear that. Yes, yoga
awesome.
is life.
Bring on Shavasana, right? Let's make it happen.
Exactly. Yes. And for pets, I think that I've seen I have a friend who's a Reiki practitioner, and she did Reiki on a couple pets in front of me, and that was just the energy aspect of it. And so the massage, and you have Bodywork and things like that. I mean, I just think there's so many modalities we have not even considered.
Barely
really.
Scratching the surface. Barely.
Exactly. What pet-related profession would you never want to try?
Oh gosh, grooming. I just do not have the patience for it. Coming back to sort of favorite breeds and things, I love standard poodles. I absolutely love standard poodles. I love their intelligence. I love their vibrancy. There's a bounciness in the way they approach the world. I love them. I will never own one because I just know that I will not keep up with the grooming needs. I won't. And so that to me, I'm just like, that is off limits, not going to happen.
Well, I will delay the last question for a second. So when I asked you what your favorite pet product is, you asked if a Dremel counts. Yeah. Tell me about why you like that. And you said that it's a good training tool or training opportunity.
So yeah, there's a whole lot of backstory there, and it comes back to Cornelius, my bull terrier, and he is a dog who, growing up, he landed in our household through, as many dogs do, an unfortunate start in life. He landed in a home that didn't understand him or his needs. I'm not faulting that individual; they were in over their head, for sure. He came to us with some baggage, some rough treatment, and some unique needs, even for a bull terrier mix. And so doing certain types of body handling was really, really hard for him. And yet, there are needs, right? We have to trim nails. We have to do basic husbandry type tasks. And that was something that he really would not opt in for. And it was really stressful for everyone, truthfully. And I didn't enjoy that part of having him in the household and needing, people get it, right? It's tough, it's stressful.
We've all been there. Yes. I feel like I've never even attempted nail trims myself because of that. I usually take it to the vet. The vet's like, really? I mean, you can't just do this yourself.
And yet it's hard, right? And yet if you do it wrong, you can actually create some trauma, both emotional as well as physical. So there is some concern there. And so for him, everything changed in our sort of cooperative care when we introduced one of the Dremel products, or a rotary grinder of some sort. For him, once he actually wasn't noise sensitive, so that part was actually pretty easy for him. But what we actually did was we started working with cooperative care and taught him to communicate with me that you can let me know when you want a little more or when you want a little less. And so through that, he's confined out in the other room right now, but if I were to turn on the Dremel, which is actually right here, because we do a little bit of Dremeling work almost every single morning, if I were to turn that on, he would come running from the other part of the house because he's like, ooh, we get to do the training game where I get to tell you yes or no. Aww. And so he will lay down on the floor here, full sprawl out. When he's fully relaxed, that's my cue to say, yes, he's opting in. If his head comes off the ground, he's saying, that was a little bit too much. That was a little ticklish. Ooh, but you're getting a little close to the quick on that one. Let's back off. Cool. And then we do something else. So the communication aspect of that, and that happens to be the vehicle through which that was created for him. So that's why it was the thing that stood out on my list as something that's really important to my relationship with him, not because of the tool, but because of what it allowed.
That is so, so cool. I think I'm going to have to try that. Last question. If the Rainbow Bridge exists, who is the first pet to greet you when you arrive?
Oh, you're going to make me cry. Whew. His name is Tyler. He was my dog growing up. And as amazing a dog he was, I carry a lot of guilt for not doing better, for not understanding him better, for not doing better by him. And this is an acknowledgement to myself. I choose to believe that each and every person, including me, is doing the best they can with the tools they have available to them in that moment. And so I won't fault myself of, 1990 for not knowing better. And yet there are times when I'm like, hey buddy, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I hope I'm doing better. And I would love that opportunity.
Oh my gosh, you're doing so well. You are making him so proud. And I agree that you are probably holding yourself accountable for, I mean, most pet parents, what you were probably doing in 1990, most pet parents wouldn't feel guilty about, right? Because you know so much and you've expanded your education and your knowledge so much, you're going to hold yourself a little bit, you know, to a higher standard, but yeah. I'm sure.
I gotta find a little grace in there too, but he's the one. There was an energy and a vibrancy about that pup, that just a zest for life, that and a willingness to come along for the ride no matter what. Kind of the whole ride or die sort of by your side. I would love to experience that with him again.
Oh, what was his breed?
He was as best we know, he was a mutt. Kind of looked like a Sheltie Spaniel cross of some sort, about 40 pounds or so, really shaggy, and just with a face that just melted your heart.
Oh, I love that. Well, you have made him proud, and all the other ones that came after him, I am sure you have made very, very proud. I am so honored that you took the time to spend your Friday with me and that you shared all of your knowledge today. I thank you so much for agreeing to appear on my show.
You are certainly welcome. The honor has been mine. It's been a joy, and awesome. I look forward to when our paths cross again.
Agreed. Thank you so much. You have an awesome weekend, and I will see you in the interwebs once Facebook and social media allows you back on.
Please. Thank you. Yes, I look forward to that.
Thank you again. Bye.